Mark,
Hey, Paul.
what's going on?
Nothing much, contemplating the universe.
Oh, do you need some time?
No, just thinking about black holes and Rosenberg bridges and
Yeah.
hmm,
Hmm.
hmm.
All right. While we're contemplating things, in a second, we're going to contemplate Absolute Batman number 23. We'll get to that right after this. Before we get started, don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content, and leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you're liking Absolute Batman. You and the millions of others that are liking it, apparently. So, well, yeah, let's talk about Absolute Batman number 23. Almost 2 years in now. Um,
That's wild.
it seems like it was just yesterday. Um, but yeah, we start with Alfred talking to his daughter Julia, who I thought it might be Verity, but is Verity actually, is that his niece or is that his daughter in the main
In
Batman
the
story?
main universe, it's his niece.
Oh, okay, his niece, right?
It's like they lent straight from the Batman and Robin movie.
Right.
Uncle Alfred.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yep. Um, and so we see very what's the word I'm looking at? A very strained um, uh, get together between Alfred and his daughter Julia. Is how it starts over some tea.
It almost looks like they were recreating the little diner scene with Bruce and Alfred in The Dark Knight. You know, he's just sitting out
Mm-hmm.
there
Yep.
happy.
Yeah. Exactly. Only she's not happy. Julia makes it very clear to Alfred that she is not very happy with him. They have had such a strained relationship that she's actually decided that she's going to tell him a couple of truths about their relationship.
Hmm.
But before we can get to those truths, we flash to the Robins. Um, we have a requisite Dick Grayson in a towel because apparently he doesn't dress in any universe.
Not
Um,
a one.
exactly. Um, and we see that there's actually, this is going to be interesting, and we'll reference it again. But I think it's interesting that there's a poll that goes on concerning what happens at the end of the story. Um,
Yeah, they're sitting there having fun looking at the social media response to their recent work in the city fighting the Batman and their public appearances and how the citizens of Gotham have responded to them, which ones are polling high and popular amongst the people. And Dick Grayson is polling toward the bottom.
that's right. He's at the bottom, but at the top is Tim Drake.
Tim
He,
Drake.
right. Because he dresses well, and Dick Grayson says, "We all have the same uniform. What do you mean you dress well?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I have a charm. I have charm, so that's why." Um,
And
Jason,
Tim's looked at as the young heartthrob of the
exactly.
team.
Jason then enters, and he wants to go back out and try to find Batman again because he's got a he's got a thing about making sure that he can capture or kill Batman whenever it happens to be.
And Dick tries to tell him, dude, you got to chill. You got to recharge. Our mecha suits have to recharge. They're not done. He's like, I don't care. I'm going, and I'm going alone. Either way. And Dick goes, no, we'll come with you. We're a team.
Right. And so they take off, but then we flash back again to the tea that Julia and Alfred are having. And the first truth is when you're fighting and you're fighting in service of powerful people, they're all you see are phantom enemies. So
Yeah, and
um,
she adds to that. Is the world that much better for all your decades of service? Like belittling his efforts, kind of critiquing the fact that he had enemies at all, that he's just fighting for his employer's enemies.
right, because he is actually at the very beginning. We also learned that Alfred has decided that he's going to stay in Gotham indefinitely. He's going to go back to England, tell him that he wants to, you know, leave or take a hiatus or whatever you want to, sabbatical, whatever you want to call it, and stay in Gotham because he needs to help this young man who has lost his way, who obviously is Bruce. So,
Yeah, he's this young man who came up. Who this is the difference. This is the difference he's been looking for. Someone like Batman that he can partner with, but he can't be really straightforward with all that with her. And she's then jumps into being critical of his entire life, his life's work, and anything he's ever done.
Right. Quick flashback, quick flash to Harley Quinn, who's talking, and basically she has rebuilt another mallet.
Yep, we see that in a brief second. We also see Harvey comes and visits Barbara at home with flowers and condolences for her father and everything, and she's sitting there hitting the weights. Mm-hmm. She's clearly training. That she looks like she has some motives planned. We all know Batgirl is coming in the upcoming issues, so you can clearly already see the foundation of her looking into her father's death, not accepting the narrative that it was simply Batman, and wanting to investigate more. And Harvey, like, yo, this is closed case. We saw Batman do it, and she's like, nah.
Right. Then we get truth number 2 from Julia, and that is basically when you swing at phantoms, you often hit those that are closest to you.
Referring to herself, I assume.
Exactly. And
all this work you're doing fighting, and here I am suffering without a dad, without us being able to have a life, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and there are unintended people that get hurt because of what you're doing, because you think you're doing the right thing for whoever. Mm-hmm. So then we got a nice 2-page spread of the Strawman Part 5.
It's the Batman.
It is the Batman.
We get a picture of the Batman. Mm-hmm. Get it? Because he's holding a bat. And because he's a man, it's the Batman.
It's the Batman. Oh. Who'd have thunk it? Then
it's funny because it's a pun.
It is. It is a pun. You're right. We then go and we see Bruce is surrounded
at his
by
best right now.
At his best.
He's at his best.
He is surrounded by his friends, Waylon, Harvey, Edward Nygma, Oswald Cobblepot. And they basically, the 4 of them are there thinking they're going to somehow perform some sort of an intervention.
Yeah, because he's sitting here racking his brain on all the recent developments that he's discovered. He's sitting here with his photos, his newspaper clippings, his old files all stuck to the wall, connected with red yarn, making this my single favorite issue to date. The what if me and a big bottle of espresso were the Batman? This is what the whole book would look like. No action, just dots.
Exactly. And how is it a conspiracy? Well, because he can actually, and who's pulling that red string? It is Jack Grimm. It is the Joker. And how do we know it's a Joker? Because basically the benefactors of all 4, of at least 3 of them, anyway, Harvey, Edward, and Oswald, all of the names of their benefactors somehow all go back to famous clowns. And so that's the connection between.
Yeah, a big shipping company for Oz's business is named after a famous old clown, and a big donor for Harvey's law firm has like an acronym associated with a famous clown. All this, and Bruce is seeing Jack Grimm in anything. It's almost one of those, if you look hard enough, you can find something that looks like evidence, and it looks definitive if you're Bruce, but if you're on the outside, it does look like it could as well be you're reaching, or it's a coincidence, or it's not actually definitive, but it creates a rift between his friends and him. He looks like a kook to them, and they just want to help their friend who's too far out there.
Right. And it goes deeper. It goes all the way back to the zoo. All the way back. That's how far this conspiracy goes. We know that the Straw Man and Jack Grimm have basically been planning this since the beginning of turning Bruce into this Batman. But also, it works out with all of these people as well, because it just so happens that Oswald Cobblepot, when it happened, he was looking at the Penguin enclosure. If you draw a line from the Bat to where Waylon was, it goes right through the crocodile enclosure. If you take a look at Two-Face, there's something that he has that actually corresponds to Janus, which is the two-faced a two-faced god, a Roman god. So all of it, if you just look hard enough, it's out there.
And this is where, like, okay, well, we were thinking you might have lost your marbles, but now we are sure that you are bat crap crazy. And he's not listening to their reason. He is certified on this, and that's when his mom comes in very casually. Alfred and Martha, who we have not seen for issues. We last saw her going back to meet up with the Court of Owls, and she did it in a way that was outside of their rule and regulation handbook, and that left us thinking that they executed her. We had no definitive proof of that yet. It just left us with the single shot toward Martha, and we haven't revisited that or nothing about it. It was a heartfelt issue. The message she left for Bruce on his phone that he deleted without listening to. But now here she is. No pomp and circumstance, no big reveal that she's still alive, no big reveal that, I thought she was dead. She just walks in with Alfred trying to get Bruce to rein it in.
Right. And so the question becomes, is this really Martha? I mean, I'm sure obviously Scott will get back to this because there's not one to leave one of these things just dangling eventually. But who could it be? Clayface? Could it be something that he's imagining? I would imagine that part. I'm going to say no, because why would Alfred walk in with her if it was in his mind, type of a thing. But could it be Clayface, or are we going to find out what actually happened at that moment where they supposedly shot her? And we'll get to that a little bit down the road. But yeah, you kind of just plop her back in here without any explanation as to what happened the last time we saw her.
And now Bruce immediately, not having seen her in a while, wanting more information and more details, seeing all these things connecting, seeing his mom, is like, all right, I know you're with the Owls. I want all the information you have on the Court of Owls right now. And she's like, Bruce, come on. I can't do this. Give me all the information right now. And he's lost his patience. He can't hear nothing. And he actually yells in her face and hits the wall around her. And Alfred just racks his little taser gun and just lays into him, just drops Batman for getting a little too violent around his mom. And Batman gets up and just runs out. And Wayland's telling everyone, just let him go. Let him go.
Right. And so he leaves. We flash back to a time where Bruce was working for the Falcones, if you remember.
As the Batman.
He finds a little note that he had gotten from his mother that says, "Be more than this, Bruce. Love, Mom." But then we flash to the current time where we see the Robins again interacting with Batman.
Yeah, they're running around patrolling, and they come across Batman, who was actually standing in the street waiting on them, not hiding from them. He says, "I'm not here to fight." And he puts his axe down, and instead of listening to why he's there, what he's trying to do, see what's going on with him, they just engage. So you have Jason and who's number two?
Tim Drake.
You have Jason and Tim engaging. Batman not fighting back. They just wrap him up, and he's sitting there captured. And Tim catches up. Jason steps out of his mech, and Tim goes climbing up there because they're going to get a nice little photo and call the other guys and brag, "Hey, we got him, y'all didn't. Ha ha ha! We're going up in the polls now, buddy." Mm-hmm. And while they're doing this, some crows start flying overhead.
Correct. And an even larger version of Absolute Batman, if that's possible, shows up.
The crows start flying over, and Batman knows that the straw man's coming. Mm-hmm. That this isn't good. And while this is happening, something oozes on the side of the mech, like it was hiding there already, starts standing up, and it's the Clayface Batman comes jumping down at them and just lands on them and just covers them, and you can see arms and faces reaching out trying to get out, and now Batman's trying to break out of his restraints to go help them. And that's when Clayface Batman just sends out a bunch of spikes and just hangs Tim on one of them.
Right. And so it's interesting. This is almost like a Death in the Family too, with a poll and everything. We got a guy who won the poll, and guess what? He's a dead one.
Yeah. But yeah, Batman and Clayface engage with each other. The way that Clayface, the actual clay is, as he moves, like it leaves behind a clay trail, but like that clay trail becomes hands reaching to catch back up with the body and stuff. It's really wicked. It's really cool. And as soon as they go to engage each other, we get a flashback.
Yeah. And the way that it seems as though, at least the way this seems to work anyway, if I'm getting it correct, is that Clayface needs to somehow, he kind of models or sculpts himself after having some sort of a tactile connection to someone or whatever. And what happens is when he does that, like he ends up repeating almost everything that Bruce says, just kind of mimicking him as he goes about. But yeah, then we flash back to Bruce again. And
He's been sent to go rough a
right.
guy up, and he was instructed like you actually have to rough them up. Like you got to start doing the job proper. And he gets to where he's going, and it's none other than the one of the members of his childhood group, the one that was passed away in the earliest issues.
Mhm.
We had that run in at Arc M working there. It's Matches Malone.
Mhm. Right. And then we
He
see
roughs him up.
he
He
does rough
roughs
him
him
up.
up, Paul.
Mhm. He does. And then we see Commissioner Gordon there for a second as well.
Yeah, well, as he's roughing up Matches, he's having flashes in his mind of the zoo, of Gordon talking to him, trying to talk him out of being a little enforcer of his mom. Like he's having all these flashes because he's going through a moment, like not knowing who he is clearly. We're trying to remember who he was while he's doing the unthinkable and beating the tar out of one of his closest friends.
Correct. And then we flash back to Clayface and Batman battling again. They do a couple of things back and forth until Clayface just kind of disappears into the sewers. We see
He cuts his head off.
Yeah.
It's cool. He cuts his head off. He picks it up and just puts it back on as he's repeating Batman's words. And so it was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Batman picks up Tim Drake. He's holding him much like he held Jason Todd in the Death of the Family. And just as that happens, we see Jason sees him.
Before that.
Oh, right. There's the Strawman is there.
We get our only appearance of the Scarecrow in the Scarecrow's own story arc, finally. He's from standing on top of the mech. He says, "Shame. So young, too. I guess it was bound to happen eventually. See you around." Call.
Jason sees Batman holding Tim Drake. He basically now there's another person that's dead. First it was Jim Gordon. Now it's Tim Drake. So Batman's getting, if he didn't have one already, he's getting a very bad reputation. Jason screams, "You're going to pay for this. You hear me? This isn't over." And then we flash back again to end the story.
Yeah, we flash back and you have Falcone's men telling Bruce to continue beating Matches. He's like, "Nah, he's down enough," and they're look like they're getting ready just to shoot Matches and end them. The boss says that we got to make an example kind of thing, and Bruce turns and Batman's the hell out of the other guys in Matches group, and he takes a bullet in the shoulder. He got to the point where he thought Matches had enough, and they were just going to end him, and he ends up having to turn the bat on the crime family, and he took a bullet to the shoulder, and he drops the bat, and that's where the issue ends.
Yep. Another great story. I mean, my one issue was Martha and trying to figure out exactly what happened with Martha. But everything else.
Marcia.
But everything else, again, the story beats are just right there. They all seem to hit. You can see, Batman seems like he's slowly descending more and more into kind of losing control of everything. But in the end, he's right. He's not a conspiracy. He's right about everything. So make sure you listen to those conspiracy guys.
Yeah, they got a good track record these days.
They do. They do. But yeah, again, well, next issue will be 2 years in. Still looking forward to we should get another arc special that should be coming along soon. And then we have Absolute Catwoman and an Absolute Cassandra Cain. So the Absolute Batman world itself is kind of building itself out as well. So, but
good stuff.
It is good stuff. But that's going to be it for this edition of DC Comics Deep Dive. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. And make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. But that's going to be it. I am Paul. He is Mark.
We are Legion.
And you're now leaving Sector 2815.